Hello everybody and welcome to another tier list video. Today we are ranking the second Doctor stories with again just a little bit of extra stuff sprinkled in there for fun. And just like the first Doctor video, this is a definitive ranking. Anything else is blasphemy. So, to kick it off we have Power of the Daleks. Of course I watched the animation and I have to say it is a very good story. Not god tier like some would say, but it is very, very good. I did find some parts a bit boring, but overall, I really enjoyed the story. Great introduction, and it shows the Daleks being more devious and more manipulative and being more tacticians than they had in a lot of the other ones. Then we have the Highlanders, which is an alright pure historical. It was, I believe, the last one for a long time because they just said that pure historicals weren't good ratings, which does suck because I love the pure historicals. But yeah, introduction to Jamie. Jamie is the best second Doctor companion ever. Yeah, it's an okay story, and the fact that Jamie wasn't even supposed to be a companion, he was just gonna be like a one-off character for this episode, shocks me. Because I can't imagine it without him being a companion. But yeah, it's an alright story. We have the Underwater Menace, which is bad. It's horrible. I hate it. I hate the story so much, man. I can't do it. I can't. The Moon Base is god tier. I love the Moon Base. This was the first story where I'm like, okay, I really like this Doctor. I really like this whole TARDIS team. Because the other ones, these two, I was just like, they're fine. And then this one was obviously a bad episode, so, you know. But this one was one I'm like, okay, I really like this TARDIS team. I really like their dynamic and all that. And it's a fantastic story with the Cybermen, introducing them. And we're going to see a lot more of the Cybermen, because the Cybermen are, I think, widely considered to be the main villain of the second Doctor's era. And they're great in this one too, man. And the animation for the Moon Base is not bad. It's actually pretty good. The Macroterra also goes in god tier. Fully animated. I love this story. This is my favorite second Doctor story. I adore the Macroterra so much, man. The Macro looks so terrifying in animation. The story about this colony that's kind of brainwashed its people to think, oh, everything's all happy, you know, go lucky, everything's all fine. And then there's actually, of course, the man behind the curtain. There's some dark things going on behind it. I like that. This is a fantastic story, man. I rewatch this all the time. The Faceless Ones, to me, is just okay. Yeah. I don't know. It's not bad. Again, it's not bad. It's just alright. Like, there are other stories I find better than it, but it's not a bad story. I do think, though, that it does suck that I think her name is Samantha Briggs. She was supposed to be a companion, but the actress turned it down. Bet she feels like an idiot now, thinking back on it, but yeah, because I would have loved to see more of Samantha and Jamie together. That would have been great. But of course, the Faceless Ones leads into Evil of the Daleks, which is getting an animation release coming up soon, and I am really excited to watch that, to like fully see the story animated. For now, I put Evil as good as well, but I'm hoping the animation can like help me like it more. Tomb of the Cybermen goes in god tier. It is talked about all the time as just a definitive classic Doctor Who story. This is also Matt Smith's favorite, so it also gets hyped up for that much as well. But I loved this story. I went into it knowing its reputation and was so happy that it's like, I felt it was worthy of it. But yeah, a nice four-parter. When the Doctor talks with Victoria about his family and all that, that's just such a great scene. Then we have the Abominable Snowmen, which to me was just always kind of meh. Wasn't really a big fan of it. Yeah, it's one I do tend to skip if I ever do some second Doctor rewatches. This is one I tend to skip, but it's not like Underwater Menace bad. The Ice Warriors is just okay for me. There are some parts, of course, that I do like. But other parts where I'm like, yeah, where I kind of drowse off, you know, and kind of start thinking about other things than the actual episode. You know, maybe for that point I should just put it in meh. But I don't really want to because there is stuff I do like about it. Enemy of the World is good. I know, shocked as you may be, it's not in God tier for me. The idea that it's like a James Bond espionage type story is very cool. We have Salamander, also played by Patrick Troughton, so we have the Dr. Doppelganger thing going on. Really good. They do a lot of good swerves with like, oh, is this Salamander? No, it's actually the Doctor. I like that. The ending is fantastic. I love the ending to this one. Yeah. But it's to me, it's just good. I do feel that it was a bit overhyped for me. If it wasn't overhyped for me, I probably would have put it in God tier. But it was just so hyped up for me that it wasn't gonna live up. Web of Fear is good. I really like the Web of Fear. I can say I like the Web of Fear more than Enemy of the World. But yeah, I really like the Web of Fear. Introduces Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart's in this. His first introduction. Yeah, it's just shame episode 3 is missing. I believe they've now animated episode 3. So you can watch that. Yeah, great story. Fury from the Deep also goes in good. It's just a fantastic story, man. The animation is a bit kind of... I mean, I'm on to talk, you know, right? I don't animate anything, but like, I don't know. I didn't really like the animation so much on this one. But the story helps. Because the story's so good. I really like the story, man. The Wheel in Space is just kind of meh. This is, I think, when the Cybermen were starting to just... I was like, enough of the Cybermen at this point. I'm like, really? We're doing more Cybermen? Like, really? Yeah. Not a fan of The Wheel in Space that much. Then we have The Dominators, which is bad. It's bad. I don't like The Dominators at all. Boring, slow... I just hate this story, man. I was like, I didn't like it so much to the point that when it was over, I was like so happy. I'm like, oh, thank God it's done. I can move on to something better. I don't like the Dominators. I really don't like the Dominators. The Mind Robber is God tier. What a shift, man, huh? You go from an absolute crap story like the Dominators to a fantastic story like the Mind Robber. The Mind Robber shocked me. I knew it had a pretty good reputation, but I didn't know it was this good to warrant that reputation. Wow, the Land of Fiction is a great idea. The Master is not the actual Master. Keep that in mind here. But I really like it. Like the idea that it's like, oh, actor goes on holiday. Oh, okay. We're going to have him be turned into cardboard and have the Doctor put his face back together, but he does it wrong so a different actor can play him. I love that. That's so cool. This is such a great story, man. The Invasion is good. My problem with it is a bit too long. It was just like at times I'm like, oh my God, we're still going? Like, are we not done? You know, that's really the only reason it's not in God tier. It's just because it went too long for me. And I'm not a huge fan of the animation. This is also the first unit story, in a way, because now Brigadier is in charge of unit. Then we have the Crotons, which is just okay. Nothing offensive about it, but, you know, I'm not really going to go back to it all that much. Seeds of Death is, again, okay. I find with the Ice Warrior stories, they do tend to make me drone off when I should be watching the story. I don't know, I find that as a problem with the Ice Warrior stories. The Space Pirates goes in bad. I don't need to explain it. I don't want to waste breath, really. The War Games then goes in God tier. Man, what a big epic. You know? Like Dalek's Master Plan, I said, it does have a bit of padding. But overall, fantastic story. We get to see the Time Lords for the first time. Man, dude. It's such a good story, and what a way to end off this era that I really enjoyed. And now we go into the expanded media stuff. These 4 stories, which they're just here for fun. We have, I believe it's called The Stain of Red on the Sand from Short Trips Volume 1. To me, is very meh. Wasn't a huge fan of it. The Way Forwards is very good. It sees the Doctor and Victoria, I believe, try to help this kid called Sherman with his science project. We have The Last Day at Work, which is God tier. This story doesn't seem like much at first, but then as it goes on and you start to realize like the revelations it reveals and all that, it's just wow, dude. Oh my god. Everyone, you need to get this. It's free as well on Big Finish's app. You can get this for free. And then we have Shadow of Death, which is part of the Destiny of the Doctor thing, which I listened to, and it's alright. I listened to Destiny of the Doctor sometime around the beginning of this year. I only made it to the 3rd one, and then I stopped. But yeah, this one, it's fine. You know, nothing too bad. But yeah, this is the definitive 2nd Doctor ranking. Everything else is wrong. If anyone tells you that their ranking is the right one, know that they are liars. So, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I will see you all next time.